Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have the Olympic elk, a true life adventure. This is one of the many Magical World of Disney special segments. It's about 27 minutes long. It's from 1952. This is back when Disney was very much into creating a series of nature documentaries. He's always Walt. I call him Walt, but has always been about nature and showing, especially young viewers, and giving them a glimpse of what the world is like out there, not amongst the humans. This is since it's 1952. This is a bit of a classic. It's the fourth in a number of installments that focus on different aspects of the animal and nature world. One was the beavers. We've seen a number of them already, but this one takes place on Mount Olympus in Washington State here in the United States, and just follows the big herd of elk during a mating, traveling, migration, kind of season. You get to see how they get around and how they find mates, and nothing graphic is shown here. And it's that kind of thing. It's these kind of documentaries had a bit of an interesting balance. It was still very Disney in a sense. There's those flourishes of animation, especially at the beginning, that are just gorgeous. They're just fun to see as they sort of paint a picture, literally, of what the realm of Mount Olympus in Washington State looks like. It's not too scientific in the sense, there's not a lot of data or anything else. It's not too intellectual. Wouldn't be off-putting. It'd be perfectly fitting to play during like a school. The science teacher decides to not teach that day and puts on an old Disney video like this, and we get to blow 27 minutes trying not to fall asleep at our desks. That has happened many times in my childhood. When they roll in the cart with the old CRT TV on it, you're just like, yes, I don't have to pay attention to much. So, but it also isn't too loose and silly. It's somewhere in the middle where the narrator, Winston Hibbler, which sounds like a made-up name, and I really should tap on his name and see when he was born. It's the kind of 1910. It's the kind of name that you could only have in the early 20th century. Nobody's given the name Winston necessarily in the 21st century, especially if their last name is Hibbler. Winston Hibbler. I'm going to tell you about elk. Certain names fall within a certain period of time. So, did I just see that did he die soon after this? Oh no, he died in 1976. But yeah, 1910. I think he's provided the voice for a number of different Disney documentary productions. So there's a little bit of humor in his delivery. It's very down to earth. It's very, it's not overwhelmingly intellectual, and it's not just like, oh, look at the pretty animals. It's right there in between. It's informative, but it's fun. And there's a lot of euphemisms going on here. So with the sound of his voice, with the call of the elk, he announces the end of his bachelorhood. So yeah, that's kind of the level of humor that's in this. I learned a lot about elk that I didn't know about before. Sure, I know that they kind of battle for mates and stuff like that, but in this, like, some of them can get a harem of like 50. Like in this one, the one one elk, is it a I don't know what they call them, the males, but it slipped my mind right now. I'm sorry. He had like 50 mates, and he had to defend them all from other elk that are trying to get in there, and you're like, oh, I'm going to take her. She's pretty cute. I'm going to take her. So yeah, it's a constant battle to keep your harem in check. It's the way the elk roll, I guess. So yeah, it's interesting. It's got that feel of 1952. So yeah, it's definitely want to have a nice little throwback to the nature films of that era. I mean, honestly, we've seen a number of modern day documentaries over the last few days, as recently as 2023, and it's some of them are so clean and sharp, and you can see so much detail. This is in a 4:3 aspect ratio, meant for the old TVs, and it's not as clean. All this stuff is made for 4K. This is in an era that, I'm surprised they look as good as they do. And the amount of probably massive camera equipment that was required to even get out into nature to film a lot of this stuff and not get too close, but also not too far away, it had to be an undertaking. So it's something to really appreciate, the work that went into getting the footage they got in an era that is more than 70 years ago. Dear God, it's more than this is more than 72 years old. Whew, okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's pick. That's pretty great. That's pretty fantastic. So yeah, if you're an old school Disney fan, Magical World of Disney, and you want to check out one of these old segments, like I said, there's a series of them. So this is number 4, I think, in the series. Check it out. You might get a kick out of it. It's again, very different from your modern day documentary about animals and such. Here you go. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 212. All right. 212. 212. Oh my gosh. We finally got not a documentary. I mean, sure, we had Echo the other day, but I chose that. That was something I planned. 212 is a series. I think it's a kid's series. I'm pretty darn sure. We'll watch one episode. I think we'll get the gist of it after that. But I see this come up every so often. This is Miles from Tomorrowland. That's a play on words. Character's named Miles. It's also a form of measurement. But Tomorrowland, it's one of the few Tomorrowland-related things with the name Tomorrowland in the title. The Tomorrowland movie was on Disney Plus for like a couple weeks, if maybe just a couple days, and it disappeared again like last year. Don't know why. But Miles from Tomorrowland, I believe, is an animated like Disney Junior age range kind of thing series. So yeah, Miles from Tomorrowland on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that. Bye.